Hello, folks. This is Brother Mike, and just stopping by to say hello. You know, it's really remarkable, you know, that we have this medium of YouTube where you can reach out to people that you don't even know about, stuff that's on your mind. And what's on my mind right now that I wanted to kind of, you know, work through and talk to you about is this whole business about Donald Trump with this telephone call that he made to the widow of a soldier who died in Niger, and this congresswoman from Florida, who I know nothing about, has made this big deal out of it, claiming that he was insensitive, that, you know, he was hurtful, and that he woke up that morning with the intention of insulting the widow of a soldier who died under his command as commander-in-chief. Now, you know, this is not a common practice either, you know. I mean, previous presidents, they really shunned calling the families of our fallen soldiers. So I think it's a step up, you know, for Donald Trump to even have the courage to speak to these people in this time of their lives, you know, when they're most sensitive. And believe me, I know, because my mother is a Gold Star mother. I am a Gold Star sibling. 41 years ago, I lost my brother in Vietnam. We never got a telephone call. My mother was in the hospital having all of her teeth removed, and my twin sister was at home, and Bill's taxi cab pulled up in front of our house and delivered a telegram that my sister received. And that's how we found out that my brother was dead. And, you know, we didn't get no telephone call from the president. So I salute him for doing that. And whatever this woman's motivation is in Florida, you know, this is really something that we have to take a close look at. You know, we've got a two-party system going here, the Republicans and the Democrats, and these people are as removed from each other as East is from West. They cannot find common ground on anything. They're picking up a paycheck, you know, for really doing a whole bunch of nothing. And used car salesmen are more respected than they are by the general public, you know. So these people have a big problem in terms of how well they're accepted by the people that they're supposed to be representing, you know. But anyway, you know, I guess what I'm trying to say is that, you know, how can we rely on these people? You know, we can't rely on these people. You know, their ideologies of their individual parties has become their religion. And you don't have to turn back the pages of history too far to see all of the bad things that have happened on this planet in the name of religion. So these political ideologies have really morphed into religions, and these people are rather than working together on our behalf, are at each other's throats, and primarily at the throat of our president. You know, case in point, this whole Russian business. You know, these people have been investigating Donald Trump and his connection to Russia and Russian oligarchs, and whether he went to a hotel and had hookers piss on his bed, you know, for like over a year. They have found nothing. You know, they don't have a shred of evidence against this guy. But, I don't know, it makes good news, you know, to almost portray him as like a Russian agent that has become president. You know, it's like one of them Clancy novels or something. You know, something really way out, you know, that comes out of the heads of these people whose political ideology has no barriers to it. They'll lie, they'll cheat, they'll accept bribes, they'll coerce people, they'll murder people to fulfill their political objectives. They'll ruin people's careers, you know. So, I mean, you know, this thing is like totally out of hand. And these are the people that we're relying on to lead us. Well, you know, really what we're seeing, I mean, you look at this whole uranium thing with the Clintons, you know, becoming filthy rich off of this foundation that they have. And Russian oligarchs are contributing like $450 million to the Clinton Foundation. What does a Russian oligarch have in common with Bill Clinton and, you know, what they represent in their foundation? Obvious payoff, you know. And then then the Russians walk away with 20% of our uranium. You know, they're our deadly enemy. You know, well, Korea now, but they've always been perceived as the biggest threat to us. And we sell them 20% of our uranium so they can go make more atomic and hydrogen bombs. You know, what are these people doing? Well, you know, I'm kind of just rambling on here, but it just irks me, you know, that, you know, we went through 8 years of Congress treating Barack Obama like a monkey and forcing him to enact a lot of his agenda by executive order because he could not come to any kind of agreement with them. 8 years. What are we looking forward to? At least 4 more years of that from the opposite party. You know, so for 12 years, we're going to have a government that has just been locked in a battle with itself rather than work on things that better the American public, like the tax system, you know, and giving us some kind of tax relief, you know, things of that nature, you know, securing the borders and being realistic about this, you know, instead of going judge shopping to advance your ideology that really is dangerous to America. And this woman, Congresswoman down there in Florida, who's trotting out all this garbage about our president and, you know, what his intentions were towards this widow and the manner in which he addressed her, you know, she should be ashamed of herself because she's using that thing as a political football, you know, to advance this liberal agenda that, by the way, is supported wholeheartedly by the movie industry and these perpetrators of hideous, heinous acts that we've been seeing and will be seeing, you know, for quite some time. Coming out of that's particular cesspool draining into the Democratic liberal agenda. You know? So these people just need to stop this business and go back to the traditional ways that people negotiated agreements in the House and in the Senate, and advance some of these agendas, and they're going to strengthen us, because right now we're just watching the curtain fall on American values. You know, we're really witnessing the demise of our country because these people have been living in this unreal world there within the Washington, D.C. Beltway for so long in their little cloistered, with their little traditions, and they're animus towards each other over different things, you know, like John McCain. I think I believe he's pissed off that a quote-unquote idiot like Donald Trump got elected president and he couldn't get himself elected. You know? That's a shot he never just got over. and all he's been doing is, trying to corrupt Donald Trump's forward momentum on all the issues that he possibly can have an impact on. But anyway, I don't know, and the people of America, I'm afraid to say, they watch this stuff and they absorb this information like it was some form of entertainment, Then they go back to their regular lives and they think everything's going to be the same and not get worse. It's unbelievable how we've been conditioned to just accept this stuff almost as though it's not really reality, because it hasn't knocked on our front door yet, But, we should be more active about demanding truth and transparency about some of these activities, particularly involving this uranium deal, where apparently there was bribery occurred and influence peddling and concealment of material witnesses and documents to criminal activity on the part of the president and the Clintons. But you don't see that all over CNN. They won't report on that, and these are facts. They have absolute facts proving that the Clintons, President Barack Obama, the Attorney General Holder, FBI Director Mueller sold us down the river to the Russians so they could get filthy rich, and then concealed all the information. Bill Clinton had a speech he was going to make in Moscow. They were going to pay him $250,000 to do the speech after his wife, who was responsible for this transfer of this uranium, squared the deal away. They doubled his speech money to $500,000. The guy stood up in front of some Russians for an hour and walked away with $500,000. Thank you for the uranium, but I don't know, I'm just sick of it. So anyway, hey, that's Mike Morris, Brother Mike, just rambling on about a few of the things that are going on. I could go on and on about this Hollywood business and how these filthy rich, influential people turn out to be nothing but rapists, turning women into sex slaves so they can become movie stars, and then we're going to just admire them like they're our idols, and the Clintons are going to accept all kind of money from people like that, and then once it is revealed that they are sex fiends, they won't give the money back. Are they going to give the $145 million back that the Russians donated to the Clinton Foundation, now that we know that they accepted bribes to make this deal go through about the uranium? I doubt it. These are our leaders. And the most unfortunate part about this is the people, I'm going to conclude, the people get the government they deserve. A long time ago, Benjamin Franklin said, anybody who would sacrifice freedom for temporary liberty deserves neither liberty nor freedom. And this is what we have done as a nation of people. With all this terrorism business and the Patriot Act and everything, we gave up our freedom for temporary liberty behind some cock and bull lie that these idiots who are trying to set up a whole new world order perpetrated upon us. And we have to grow out of that. We have to accept the fact that we've been bamboozled. We've been flim-flam. We've been shammed. And snap out of it and start acting like American people who respect the foundational rights that this country was built upon and protect those rights from these monsters that pretend to lead us. Well, that's all I got to say. And I want to also say, may God richly bless you, and I love you. Bye-bye now.